Have you got a moment to talk about our Lord and Saviour, H2O? Yes, hello everybody, it is Halloween. It's Halloween today, and it's never felt so un-Halloweeny. I've never felt so un-Halloweeny. We've just finished Halloween. It's the big one. I think it's the busiest one we're going to have. We still have tomorrow to go. It's very strange. We were really busy today, and I feel like everyone's kind of been building up to it, and now it's just like, oh, what do we do? We've also had an update that we will be going back down into lockdown for a month, so I think everybody's kind of on edge at the moment. It's knocked everybody back a little bit, and everyone's kind of starting to feel it. Also, I'm in my pyjamas now. My god. Next I'll be showing you my ankles like the sinful Jezebel I am. I look a lot fresher than the previous part of this video. I'm fully aware that I look like a really sad panda, and that's because I came straight in and I went straight into recording, whereas today I've got in, I've had something to eat, I've had a shower, I feel a lot better, I feel a lot fresher. I was really sweaty, and no one needs to see that negativity. I'm back onto more word heavy roles, and we've had quite a quick flow today, so I was disgusting. I was actually on 2 roles yesterday, so I'd flip from one to the other, and then I'd go on my break, so I was relieving people for their breaks, and my parents came through. So I feel a bit meh at the moment. I may need to cuddle something in a minute, but now I'll just cuddle my bottle. My parents came through yesterday, and I haven't seen them properly in probably over a month, and going on to 2 months, and I saw them and I did a show for them and they were gone again, so really made me I'm feeling a bit fragile right now, so please do excuse me if I seem a bit not as lively as I have been. Also, with this whole lockdown thing again, I am feeling a bit fragile at the moment, but this is why it's so important to talk about mental health, especially when you're going to be a scare actor. I've been thinking about this a lot, and it's stamina isn't just to do with physical stamina. I feel like stamina is a lot to do with your mentality. So through a lot of this run, it's been a case of believing that I can do it. If I didn't believe I could do it, I probably wouldn't be able to do it, and I probably would have crashed. I would have had moments where I questioned myself, questioned if I could do this. I haven't had a day off in 19 days, so tomorrow will be my 19th day on the run, doing 10:15 until whatever time we finish in the evening. So yeah, it's a lot to do with your stamina, and I think if you are going to go into this, you need to understand that you need to have that stamina and that mental strength to keep going. It is so important. Throughout the run, everyone's been dead positive. It's been lovely, and honestly, this has been the most healthiest mentally and physically I have been for a very long time doing a run during the scare season. However, people will have their off days. They will. I like to describe it as I will wake up in the morning and my brain will decide that I'm going to have a sad day, and that's okay. I need that day to feel sad. Unfortunately, a lot of people, even if they are there to support me and say, hey, I'm here for you, that's great, that's fine, but I need to get that negativity out. I need to just go through the motions and have that time And I think that's really, really important. So, and I think it's important in general, if you do suffer from mental illness, if you're not very well in yourself, in your head, please don't think that the way you're feeling, those negative emotions you're feeling, are unjustified, and you shouldn't unjustified. I'm having a lot of these moments, aren't I, where I'm thinking, is that a word? I'm pretty sure that's a word. It's probably not a word, but we're going to make it a word. Don't think your emotions are unjustified. They're not. They 100% are, and you need that time to get it out. Whilst you're in a scare job, it's very cathartic because you can get all these really ratty and negative and horrible emotions, and you can put that into your performance, which is very good, very, very uplifting. You feel like all of that nasty stuff is just coming out in your performances, and yes, it does feel very, very uplifting. But on the flip side of that, if you have a group, and I implore you, this is so, so, so important, if you have a group and they're not reacting the way you want them to, either they're not scared, they're getting slightly aggressive, or they are just trying to be jokers, that's what I like to call them. If they're just, you know, they're not taking this, if they're not taking what you're doing seriously at all, they're just there for shiz and giggles, and it makes you angry. It makes you angry, very, very angry, and sometimes you find that you will take your anger out on those guests, which is not the thing to do. Especially if you've had a bad experience with a previous group of guests and you carry that negative energy over to your next group of guests. It is so important for you to just have a moment of clarification of, that happened, we need to get rid of that, the next group is coming in now, we need to get back into the mindset of every group is going to be a great group and your scares will work. 9 times out of 10, people will be dropping on the floor and they will be terrified and running and hiding and probably crying and having code browns. I don't feel like I need to explain what a code brown is. If you do, and when you do get into the scare industry, you will understand very quickly what a code brown is. It's not nice, but it's very funny when it happens. Please, please, please have that mindset that a bad group has gone, the next group is a new group, it's new reactions, it's a fresh experience. Don't take that negative energy through with you. Also, at the end of the day, if you've had a really bad day, just a genuinely bad day, you've had not so great guests and you just don't feel great, please find a way of getting rid of those negative emotions, whether it be you speak to one of your co-workers, if you speak to your show captain or attraction manager, or this was like a build-up, you find a nice activity to do where you can just release those emotions. So I'm going to do a special shout out for my friend Shannon. We did Secret Satan, which is like Secret Santa, but I prefer this way more, and she got me this. Now you guys know me very well already, probably, I don't know, maybe not. Who are we? I showed you my serial killer colouring book, and this is another one. It's the alphabet, and I cannot wait to get into this. I will probably start colouring it when we get into lockdown, and I will show you my progress. But during the run, we've had some colouring competitions. We actually got to colour in a plague doctor. I won one of the prizes, which was very nice. If I can find the picture, I will show it to you. But having that time to come on my break and forget everything that was happening and be able to concentrate on something like this really, really, really helped, because it means that you're not dwelling on your emotions, you're not dwelling on those experiences, and you're giving your brain time to freshen up, to just not think about what you're doing realistically. So something like this, absolutely. You can get free colouring patterns online. You can print those off. I printed off a few for our team, and me and the show captain distributed the pictures and people really enjoyed them. So it's dead important to find things that will help you throughout the run, not just physically but also mentally. Speaking of physically, I'm loving all these segues. It's like I planned it, but I really haven't, because that's my existence. Water, my God, water is precious. Water is beautiful, and we love water very, very much. Sounds like I'm losing my mind. I am, but I'm not. So I remember when I said in the first video that I was drinking at least 1 litre an hour and a half even. Don't do that. This series, it's a lot of trial and error, and I did explain that in the first part of this series. We're going to discover things, we're going to explore things. Some things will work, some things won't work. So this is a thing that kind of didn't work that did. So I found that when we started getting busier, just 1 litre wasn't enough. I need at least, I'm using these 1.75 litre juice litre bottles. So they're just Robinsons. I'm not sponsored by Robinsons, but you know, if Robinsons is watching it, hit me up. I use these Robinsons juice bottles and they have really, really helped me. I might even, what is that? Can you see that? Oh my God. That's a thing. That's definitely a thing. Woo-hoo. I will either go between the 1.75 litres or the 2 litre bottle. You really, really, really need to drink your water when you're doing stuff like this. I am so surprised that I still have a voice left, but I think it's because I'm drinking so much water and I'm hydrating myself so much. My voice is feeling a little bit scratchy now, but it's not too bad. So I've got another quite wordy day tomorrow. It's the last day, but it is very wordy. And some of the smell pods that we have, the one we have in the room I'm in at the moment, is very intense, and I don't know if you guys get this. So please comment if you've had any either reactions or experiences with smell pods. I think the one in our room at the moment is really, really powerful. So I've noticed that quite a few of the guests are getting slightly irritated by it. I am as well. And we've been saying for weeks, in this room, it feels like your throat is going so dry. The room's dry. That's what people have been saying. And I think I've cracked it. So I think it's the smell pod, how aggressive it is. It was filled up before the start of the run, so that's maybe why it's so aggressive. But yeah, let me know if... I thought there was a ghost there and I don't know why. Like a ghost dog or something, but it's just Gareth's title belts. I'm very confused by this. Please drink lots and lots of water, particularly if your room has got smell pods in, if it's got not a lot of air circulation as well, or if it does have aircon. Some rooms might have aircon, some rooms won't, depending on where you are, depending what circumstances you're in, because air conditioning is great, but it does dry out your vocal cords and your throat, so please be careful. But yes, water is absolutely your best friend. I will drink a full bottle like this every hour and a half. It seems quite extreme, but your body will need it. It is so important. And even if it's not just not just water. If you've got juice, if you've got warm water in a canister and it's got warm juice in it, even better, because you're keeping your throat lubricated, you're keeping it warm. I know quite a few people that are, well, I've known a lot of actors that have lived off fizzy drinks for a run, and personally I really don't think you should do that at all. It makes you tired, it alters your moods, it gives you sugar rushes, but then your sugar rush is over and then you've got the come down from it. You can't perform to your full capability, so please be careful with what you're drinking and what you're eating. I'm not gonna lie, I have had a few takeaways when I said I wouldn't, but that's life, unfortunately, and I'm not perfect, and I've had to come to the realization that the things I decided in the first part of this process, some of them don't work. You do need to make sure you've got plenty of food, and it's a case of you are eating to sustain your energy, so you can't be cutting back on things. If you want to realistically lose weight whilst you're scaring, by all means do that, but please understand that at the same time you do need to keep up your energy levels. This is what I've had to understand. I have lost weight over the Halloween period. That's because it will naturally happen. The amount of energy and effort you put into the Halloween season, you will lose weight, and yes, absolutely, I think it's a great time to start losing weight, but there's doing it in a healthy way and doing it in a silly way. With the salads and stuff, I have now converted my salads into nibble boxes rather than them being a meal, and my rice packets are my predominant meal, mainly because they give me so much more energy. I still have my fruits as well, bananas, apples. I have Weetabix in the morning if I can, just because my diet is losing quite a bit of fibre, and I've noticed that my body isn't working as well as it should be, without going into too much detail. I really need to get back onto the fibre. I think during this lockdown I will definitely start rejigging my diet, but I'm really happy with where I am at the moment. I'm no longer drinking fizzy drinks at all. When I do have takeaways, I've noticed that I can't finish it all in one sitting. I can't. So what I'll do is I'll have some the day before and then some the next day. Please be careful with reheating things as well, because sometimes it can make you really sick. I was absolutely amazed when I got a takeaway and I get a regular cheesy chips and like a chicken burger or something. I would only be able to eat a quarter of those cheesy chips and a half of the chicken burger probably. I don't know. But the fact that I've gone from eating a full takeaway to only being able to eat a quarter of it is astonishing to me. It sounds great, but at the same time I'm needing to be careful with whether I'm actually eating enough or not enough. Yeah, so let me think about it. I do eat my Weetabix in the morning. I do have my fruit during some breaks. I do have my rice. So yeah, roughly, ideally, it's enough to sustain me, and I do have food when I get home as well. Just plan your meals, plan your liquids as well, plan everything. It is so important. If you are in a scare event where it starts at 6 o'clock and finishes at 10 o'clock, so what I used to do, no, I used to have to get there for 4 o'clock, and then we finish roughly around 9:30, 10 o'clock, depending on how busy it was. Plan if you need to eat something before you go and how substantial you need to make that meal, or if you're going to have something when you get home, because when you get home you will be tired, you won't want to do anything, and you'll just want to go straight to bed. So please make sure you're having that food. It's so integral to making sure you are healthy and you are well. It will also help you mentally yeah, it will help you mentally in the long run. So please look after yourself. So yes, this is, like I said, this is Halloween. I know that I said that I would be doing a piece of footage every other day, but like I mentioned in the previous part of this video, I felt like everything was kind of merging together, so nothing was really happening. So now that I've had near enough the full experience, I can come back to you guys and I can tell you what I've learned, what's worked for me, what hasn't worked for me. You get what I mean. I will be doing the last part of this video tomorrow because it's the 1st of November. It is the last day of our run, and then I will be doing a short video following up to this one just to basically summarise. I'm going to do a couple of lists of what I would recommend, what I wouldn't recommend, top 10 opinions and what you should do for your mental health, top 10 recommendations about what you should do for your food and your physical health as well. Probably top 10 things I wouldn't do mentally and top 10 things I wouldn't do physically. Also, what you should expect if you're going into the scare industry, what you shouldn't expect, maybe some myths. We'll play around with it, we'll see what happens. This is one of the last entries I'm going to be doing. I am very interested tomorrow to see what the crowd levels are going to be like, just because we have had an update about the lockdown coming back again. It is for a month, so I imagine I will be doing a lot of videos, I will be doing a lot of crafty things during that month. So yeah, we'll see what happens, but thank you so much guys for watching this part. Happy Halloween to everybody. I know it hasn't been the same as it usually is. We haven't been able to go trick-or-treating. Things have been strange, things have been weird, but fingers crossed and toes crossed. You can't see my toes being crossed. This will be the only Halloween where this is the way it is. Again, my thoughts and prayers are going out to all my scare friends that aren't able to do what they do right now. You are in our thoughts 100% all the time. We love you guys so much, and I hope that everything, I really hope that everything in the next coming months improves. Cool, okay, look after yourselves guys. I will see you tomorrow. Bye.